Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boom Bar right here on your Boom Radio, and I bid you a warm welcome to the bar today. Today promises to be a very interesting one. It's going to be talking about quite a number of things today. It's a brand new month, so happy new month to everybody. But it's the first day. It's interesting how you never really see the first day of the month as the first day of the week as well. But it's really cool that this is happening today. So welcome again to the bar. My name is Dolupo, and it's a bar. If you're just joining us for the very first time, it's where we give you everything sports, politics, entertainment, every gist basically, and everything else in between. And everything else in between can really be everything else in between. Today we're going to be talking about quite a number of things. The federal government and GenCos are having some serious face-off. Simon Ekpa is officially being convicted in Finland. The local government elections that happened in Rivers, it seems like is one of the most popular these days. Anyway, local government elections have become a thing, but Rivers is peculiar. So we're going to be talking about that as well. Also, the issue of a lot of presidential aspirants and their promises on single-term presidency. Two people who are not very good friends at this point in politics seem to agree on that one thing, even though sometimes it seems some of these things seem a bit contradictory. But we're going to be talking about that and a lot of other things today at the bar. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show with us. And with me in the studio is Sola Rogers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the bar.
So we're going straight into the gist of the day. But before we go straight into the gist, I would actually like to apologize for starting a tad bit late today. Today we had a bit of issues technically, but we did not want to just go through the day and not do the boom bar still. So that's why we're here, to give you everything, to serve you everything hot. So let's get right into the show today. First things first, federal government and the GenCos. So there seems to be a bit of rancor there. The federal government is threatening to disconnect for people that do not know what GenCos are, they're the electricity generating companies. And they're saying that they're going to remove them, they're going to disconnect them off the power grid. Now, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has issued a mandating all electricity generation companies to connect to the grid to implement a free governor control across their generating units, saying that non-compliance would attract heavy penalties, including disconnection from the grid.
Okay, so why are the GenCos not complying? Or why would they not comply?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because before you issue a threat, there's the possibility of dissent, Abi.
So apparently the part of the grid that they're not connecting to, so it's called a governor, and a governor is supposed to be a control system that regulates the speed and output of your turbine or generator. It's the primary function to maintain a stable speed or frequency. So I'm guessing this is basically to checkmate what they're doing.
And they don't want to be checkmated.
Kind of, yeah.
They want to have free reign.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, I'm just like getting into this story. So my questions are actually very valid, And it's interesting that some of the things you hear government tell some of these people to do, you're wondering why it wasn't a standard from the jump. Do you understand?
Yeah,
like,
I get you.
You would assume that there's supposed to be those things in place, but at times you wonder if it's down to the former regulators or the former governments not knowing, or did someone just look the other way to allow some of these things happen for some dangerous reasons, some reasons that bother around just making money, like just make money off the system regardless of whose ox is God, regardless of who's going to suffer it, which usually is the people at the receiving end. That's you and I. I'm wondering why it's not a standard, because this sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, you would have thought that it was a standard from the get, but and then we now get to, and this is how we do a lot of free. Everybody just do whatever does whatever they like, and now by the time you now start hearing threats upon threats, but the truth is, like you said, if these things had been in place from the jump, we won't have these conversations at all. Some of these things that you now wonder, like, okay, what were the people there before? What were they doing?
Again, will this kind of boost power supply, or at least help understand what consumption really is?
Maybe.
Like, okay, this is the input and this is the output, because we know that Nigeria's power does not come from only one source. It's not just hydro generated. It's also thermal, the thermal turbines and all of that gas, and of course we should be moving towards the cleaner energies, wind and solar, that seem to be very expensive to enter, but at the end of the day, decentralizing the grid is still the ultimate goal. That's still the main thing.
And we know, but when we talk about decentralizing now, the ball is in the court of the government, of the state government.
Yes, because now power lies with them. At least it's off the exclusive list. But it doesn't mean that the federal government too cannot do its own bit, though. I know that they have this rural electrification agency, and I've been following their exploits, their deeds, and it seems that like they're doing well. In fact, left to me, they should have scaled up their projects and their output to more parts of Nigeria. The truth is, as much as some people are now enjoying days without power interruption, some people are actually
some people don't have power.
Some people are not even on the grid. They don't even have access to electricity yet.
As weird as this might sound, is one thing that some people, people that don't have, they already know they don't have. But people that actually pay bills every month for power, and they barely get 4 or 5 hours in a day.
That happens a lot. And it's crazy. And so while we're still there, we're talking about estimated billing, we're talking about issues of meters that government said were to be given out. Now we've left the GenCos now, we're talking the entire value chain now, and the most popular issues in that subsector. When you look at all of that and the other things like the power holding companies with some funny billing systems for those of you who do not have meters, and for those of you who have meters, if you have small issue with your meter like this, you're in deep soup, hot soup for that matter, like somebody in Finland is, so no matter what happens though, we hope that the GenCos will at least do this governor thing, and let's improve power supply to Nigerians.
Okay, now let's move on from that, and let's go on to something that actually caught a lot of people's attention today. And what is that? Is the story of Mr. Simon Ekpa. He became, or would I say that he was, after Nnamdi Kanu was arrested in Nigeria, or more like he was brought to Nigeria. How he was brought, conversation for another day, but he was brought to Nigeria. Mr. Simon Ekpa in Finland decided to take up the reins and do as he liked. He was coming up with all sorts of things. In fact, I think they set up a country.
Yeah, he had ministers
he had all that.
Even governors.
Yeah, it
is state creation too.
It was quite you need to give it to him. It was a very robust plan. However, you are just not in the country that you claim that you were. You are setting those things up in another man's country, and you're claiming that you want freedom from one country. Anyway, he did all that, but in the midst of all that, Mr. Simon Ekpa was arrested in Finland for terrorism allegations, and officially today he has now been convicted and sentenced to 6 years in jail in Finland, bordering on terrorism charges.
Interesting development. One of the first things that jumps at you, I don't know if you've thought about it, is how you mentioned that the leader of the IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, was rendered to Nigeria one way or the other. People said that it was an illegal arrest, but is still under arrest. Where I'm going is that the person that more or less took over from him or was acting in his stead has now been sentenced, while the person that was arrested first is still locked up without, judgment. He has his day in court from time to time, but he has not been sentenced. He hasn't even gotten to the point where maybe
there was a lot of drama.
He's even let go of. Does that not tell us something about our legal system also? I'm just saying. So you were about to say something,
But you know that, yes, I agree that our legal system might be off. But also, even from the side of Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, remember why he was brought back in court was that it was said that he jumped bail, which I think he really did. He jumped bail. Remember also the issue of owning, not wanting a particular judge, what he will wear, don't wear this. There was really a lot of drama from that angle, even from his own side too. So I think that there are some of these things that we would not. Do you understand? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so the point I'm trying to make is still what you just spoke to now. Shouldn't there be a legal system that allows him with all his drama, that judgment is expedited? That within all this drama that you said he was also doing, should anybody be allowed to stall judgment, either the defendant or the prosecution?
You can't. Some of the things that he brought up, they're kind of like his right. It's actually in the judicial system. There was talks of he had issues with saying that he didn't want to be in the DSS custody. He was talking about the treatment he was getting, how even remember up onto the clothes that he was wearing to court. So I will not totally say that it's all about the judicial system, because another thing is that if you really don't give him a listening ear as well, that's also another conversation. And you say that you're not giving the listening ear. Okay,
so I think I need to repeat myself, because you seem to have gone to the end of everything without listening to what I'm saying. A legal system that allows the defendant a voice, a legal system that allows the government or the prosecutor their own voice too, that works within such a stipulated time, that judgments and court cases do not last for years and years and years. A legal system that you are telling me now that everything that Nnamdi Kanu has complained about cannot be handled within a matter of days. That even except the investigation has not been concluded on the part of the prosecutor. You are saying that their file is not complete and they don't know already that this is where we're going with this case. This is our witness list.
Like I said, I'm not even talking
about. And
you think
he has to take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years?
I'm not talking about prosecution.
By the time they are done with Nnamdi Kanu's case, Ekpa will be released from Finland.
Do I think that Nnamdi Kanu really did some of these things to stall the case? Yes, but I would not. You can't, because it is actually his right to ask those questions.
You're not gonna get it, so I'm just gonna let it go.
Because what I'm saying is, even if you have a stipulated time to do some of these things, it seems to be drawing them back a lot. First, he doesn't want you will not. It is. I don't think it will be it's going to be stipulated. The kind of, except there is now legislation that you can't change. You can't ask judge to be recused. You can't complain about the welfare of. Those are the things that. Those are conversations that Mr. Nnamdi Kanu brought to court that's not originally not part of the court issues.
Okay, again, because I didn't know we were going to have this, but this is the beauty of the bar. a legal system that allows you to say everything that she said now, but does not allow the case to drag for too long. I know a friend reached out to me yesterday. He had bought land he has had for years, and now a new family has shown up saying they own the land. That family has been in court for over 2 decades. Land that you bought 12, 14 years ago, you have C of O, you have everything. The family that sold it to you have now lost part of that land, and it now belongs to another because this case dragged for so long. A legal system that does not let this happen. That's what I am talking about. It's not even about Nnamdi Kanu's innocence or guilt. It's not about if government has done right or wrong. It's about the fact that for judicial matters, you know, when it comes to different sectors, like say for instance, murder, the investigators will be given a stipulated time. Your case, everything must be heard within this period. Because justice delayed is also justice denied. It is. So either if someone is throwing tantrums, the law will not allow your tantrums. It's like a child that's trying to get the parent to do something, and the parent knows that this thing that you are doing is not going to work for you. The parent will not look at your tantrum now. Do you understand? A firm parent wouldn't, but a parent who is weak will be like, he will cry if I put him in the child seat. Does that make it right? I'm talking about what is right. It's not even about, but maybe IPOB is this terrorist or Nnamdi Kanu is fantastic or good or not good. It's about how Ekpa was arrested a few months ago. Investigations were conducted. The Finnish people came to Nigeria. They conducted their investigations in Finland and in Nigeria. And now, he has had his day in court. He was given a chance to defend himself. And they still found him guilty. This is my point.
I get your point.
That is my point. That after all said and done, justice has been served. Now, within the legal system, he's still allowed, I'm sure he's probably allowed an appeal or whatever. But I'm saying that after all of this, it should not be open-ended. It shouldn't be something where a judge can adjourn a case and say, this time next year, you come back for the next hearing, 6 months, 8 months. It's just, some people use that. There's a guy that was threatening his landlord and he said that, look, if I take this case to court, you're not going to get nothing for the next couple of years. That he will see to it. Because he also knows that there are loopholes that allows them to say a case is postponed. Look, someone is owing 2 years rent and they are trying to get him to pay the 2 years rent and he has not paid and the case has been in court for another 2 years. And pending that time he's not paying. That's 4 years. Where's the sense in it? Where's the justice?
Yeah, I get your point. Anyway, I'm still talking about Simon Ekpa. The federal government has said that this is a major win for terrorism in the country. The federal government has said it. Even the chief of defense staff also made that statement, hailing the Finnish court's verdict on this matter. However, in a twist of events, IPOB themselves, which I'm guessing in Nigeria are proscribed, has said that he is not a member and is bearing his own cross. Responding to the sentencing of Simon Ekpa today, they said that the question of Simon Ekpa's non-membership of IPOB is already judicially settled in Finland. He said that if people go back to watch his testimony in Finland, he said specifically that he is not a member of IPOB or ESN, that he was merely a content creator and he had disowned IPOB. So they are following his.
So what has that got to do with anything now? Oh my god. if this judgment had gone the other way, would they be referencing what he said? My man went there and said what he said because
jail was looking staring at him in the
and
face.
he was looking for a way to not go to jail. That's the way I see it.
But you really can't blame IPOB at this point. If someone that claims to be your person and be doing a lot of things for you people, all of a sudden, because he probably would land him in jail, which he still did, disowns you. Abi, your friend in time of trouble, your friend now disowned you. You are now saying, no, you're not my friend again.
Well,
it's just simple. Like when you really think about it, it's actually not their fault.
So all the while when he was making those calls for sit at home and everything, was he a member of IPOB?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. All the while, whenever, because this sit at home thing that happens in the East, apart from the regular Monday thing, there are times when people would say that they were taking Nnamdi Kanu court on this particular date, and for that date, there's a shutdown of the entire Southeast.
Interesting, very, very
so
interesting.
basically, he's not a member now.
He's not a member. He said he's not a member.
But anyhow, the Finnish government have at least done what they did based on their own investigations.
Exactly. Moving on to the House of Representatives. The House of Representatives is saying that they are set to probe the Nigerian Railway Corporation and the company that actually did the railway system about the Kaduna train derailment. I think this is just normal. What's it called?
Yeah,
process.
Yeah, at times these things also lead to revelations. At times, it could also form the template for such things. As much as we want life to go according to clockwork, if this was an accident, that they say accidents always happen. That's why it's called an accident. And if maybe there was some form of negligence, maybe there was some form of faulty system, maybe it's due to vandalism, maybe they can use their good offices to get government to improve on the surveillance system to protect life and property, because that is an important artery for Nigeria. A lot of Nigerians travel on that.
And it's cheaper, it's more comfortable for a lot of people. So a lot of people have, and now that it's been suspended, I'm sure that a lot of people are feeling the brunt at the moment. So just wanted to also put this out there. The NDLEA, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, has arrested several suspects and intercepted large consignments of illicit drugs. Among those people, a 75-year-old grandfather who was caught with skunk, about 26.7 kilogram of skunk in Anambra State. Grandpa, when do you plan to retire?
Life begins at 70 or 75.
70. Like,
so,
are we doing that right now?
1 kg of skunk or anything is a lot.
Oh yeah.
Abi?
Yeah.
And now he's got 27 kg.
Old man.
27 kg means he's a dealer.
Before? Oh yeah.
Because you want to smoke yourself to death if you had 27 kg as your personal stash. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. So that means at 75, you're involved in a business that is wrecking kids that are the age of your grandchildren or even less.
Even NDLA had to put it that 75-year-old grandfather, like you had to point it out that you know that you are old, right?
Have they tried to check Guinness record for the oldest drug dealer? Arrested with the highest stash.
Oh Lord, y'all are just stressing me out.
It's a sad situation. And the tables are turned now, because normally it should be him and his son going to check on their grandson that was arrested for, or granddaughter as the case may be, that was arrested for possession with intent to sell and any other. But now it's the children and grandchildren.
This one is not even intent. So this one is intent to distribute. Distribute because that's a lot. That's a lot.
It's going to be the children and their parents going to check on their grandparent
in jail. Nigerian jail is not conducive for young person. Talk less of 75-year-olds. That they will beat you.
But
they will beat you.
I've heard a lot of people say that a lot of crimes are happening in Nigeria now. People just put it down to poverty. Everybody just says it's poverty. Things are hard.
Is it the only 75-year-old?
So I was hoping that they asked them to, like, Baba, why did you choose this line of business? The funny thing is, you guys are not looking at it though. It's probably been in that business since when he was a teenager.
And that was self-dish.
Yeah. And now he has,
he's now old. That's why he
knowledge. He has about 58 years.
You are
experience.
going to jail. Jail is calling you. Is calling you. In fact, no, you're already in jail.
Don't do drugs. Don't sell them. Don't use them. Those things are bad for you.
Anyway, moving on from that, let's do a bit of politics here. This bar is getting a little bit boring at this point. Moving on, I'm not interested in somebody's grandfather. If you cannot tell your grandfather not to do drugs, good luck to you.
You don't do grandfathers anymore.
What are we talking?
You said you are not interested in somebody's grandfather.
If
a woman says she's not interested in a man, it's usually for.
We're moving. Well, I'm not even going down that line with you. No, I'm not doing that with you.
I'm just quoting you.
I'm not doing that with you.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on from that, we're going to a very interesting conversation, and this conversation of single-term presidency. So, Mr. Peter Obi, I think, was one that started it, saying that all he needs is 4 years, and then because so what started this single-term presidency? Let's explain some of these things to everybody. So, first things first, the issue of the single-term presidency, if I'm correct, started with the unwritten rule that there is presidencies in the south now, and he's going to be there for 8 years after Mr. Buhari, or former President Buhari, did 8 years from the north and it was coming down to the south. Now, if that is agreeable, it also now means that we all know that come what may, Mr. Why do I say so much Mr.? But they are all Misters actually. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, come what may, at least we know that it's 4 years. It's 4 years. There's nothing you can do about it now. And there's going to be another election if he wins that or not. But of course, he's not going to run unopposed. So the plan is by his opponents is to kick him out. And we've seen that happen before in the case of former President Goodluck Jonathan. It has happened before. It's not something very common, but it has happened before. Could it happen? Nobody is God, so nobody knows. It's very possible, but possible or not, or will it happen? That's another conversation. However, some of his opponents, and this is Peter Obi, the former governor of Anambra State, and the former governor of Rivers State as well, Mr. Rotimi Amechi, they've both come out to say that they need 4 years. And that is only 4 years, and the power, which they seem to agree that the power will then go back to the north after a second 4 years if they win the presidential election. So first things first, we know that both of them are running. On which party they will both run, we don't know. Will they win the primaries wherever they are? That's another conversation. However, they have promised that they would only do 4 years, or more like they only need 4 years. Now, that conversation has now generated a lot of conversation around everybody, and two people have now had a lot of things to say about it. First things, I think it was Mr. El Rufai. It was yesterday that he was asked, and he said that being a governor for 8 years, he knows that 4 years will not be enough to turn things around. Now, I have a bit of questions, and I feel his statement is a little contradictory, but it's obvious. One thing that is obvious is that he does not agree that 4 years would be enough. Number one, he says that on the side of turning things around for good. Two, that even politically, how do you just give up your seat just because? So he's actually agreeing that Nigerian politicians don't just give up their seats. Yeah. On the other hand, Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister and the former governor of River State as well, all these former governors, has also now, at least on that one thing, agreed with Mr. El Rufai and said that anybody that is talking about second term is just deceiving the people and they're not speaking the truth. However, he had quite a number of things to say about Mr. El Rufai, saying that he doesn't know when El Rufai became like this, and he used to be his friend, and he would like Mr. In fact, he went on to extend to say that he needs to bet with El Rufai, saying that he should, if he agrees to the bet, he would bet with him that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will win 2027 election convincingly.
Interesting.
So,
It's all good in the hood and all the talk about politics. We sadly started 2027 discussions too early, and that's where we are now. There's no going back on that anymore. And single-term presidency became even more popular in Nigeria a couple of years ago when people were proposing that a constitutional review be carried out, and that some people were saying, oh, it should be just 5-year single term or 6 years. Some said 7, some even said, oh, let it be 6, 5, whatever, but single term. I at some point felt, okay, maybe a 6-year single term is not a bad thing, because again, it makes power go round faster, because you need to spread power now, not just across the north and south, but across the 6 geopolitical zones.
Yeah, everybody seems
there has to be some form of balancing now.
Yeah, I agree.
I also was like, 6 or 7 years, not bad. 6 actually, but again, now I've looked at it and I feel that even if it's a one-term, 6-year, 5-year, 7-year proposal for presidency in Nigeria, there should be some mid-term system, because again, knowing that you have free reign for the next couple of years could also lead to complacency. You could also be like, what's going to happen is going to happen, because you notice that in the second term of some people, they perform better.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Than except you are doomed to fail. Some people actually, in fact, a lot of governors do better when they come back.
When they know that they don't need so they can step on as many toes as possible.
Okay, so that's that. Then, of course, now this new wave of single-term talk is because of that scenario that Dolupo painted, knowing that no matter what happens, ideally, power, that's the presidency, should return to the north by 2031. Because President Buhari had full 8 years back to back, like 4 years times 2. He had 4 years time too. And the north will be like, you know what? We supported you guys, or it's our turn. We're taking it back. Our local in the north. Now, I think that's what's driving them. Like she said, that's what's driving the statements by Peter Obi and Rotimi Amechi. They are trying to say that this is their new coalition, the ADC vehicle that they have all joined now, and they are all members of. They're saying that when the primaries come, they're more or less saying indirectly that Alhaji Abubakar Atiku should not run. That's what they're trying to say. That
the power still remains in the south.
In the south. Okay. And he is from the north.
But it's confirmed that he said he's running.
Yes, I'm saying they're trying to say.
Yeah.
Because if you're saying that, if you give me this chance, I'm just going to spend 4 years. It's like a guy. Every time I hear this man say this thing, it always reminds me of a guy that's trying to woo a babe. There is just once. If you allow me talk to you just once, I will not talk again. All that kind of stuff. That's what comes to my mind. But that really and truly, if she allows you talk once, you are going to talk again. You want to talk 3 or 4, 5. In fact, you want to talk forever. So I think it's a tad bit deceitful to say that. Especially if you have good intentions for your country. If you really want to turn things around, like you say.
So you agree with Mr. El Rufai?
Oh yeah, you have
4 years is not enough.
A president has about 3 to 5,000 appointments to make. Apart from the immediate appointment of, on day one, chief press secretary, chief of staff, this, that, his kitchen cabinet, and all of that, everything done within 2 to 3 months. There are ambassadorial roles to be filled. There's parastatals. There's a whole lot. So, and those things have to be in place for your government to function well. You need to put those structures in place.
Okay, so now I have a question. I will say that to a large extent, if we agree with what Mr. or Malam Nasir El-Rufai said about 4 years not being enough to turn around a situation properly. So, two things. Why are we now demanding perfect governance from Bola Tinubu after 2 years? He has also said it, that how do you now put a score sheet and say that, oh, the government is doing horribly if only just after 2 years? And why are you trying so hard to kick him out if, by your own words, you said 4 years is not enough to turn things around? So why are you trying to kick him out after 4 years?
Why is Nasir El-Rufai trying to kick Tinubu out after 2 years? Power. Politicians need power. They need to stay relevant. They need to be heard. They need to be seen. They believe that if they just go quiet, if they go lock up somewhere, that they will be forgotten. And when the time comes, it will be hard for them to crawl out of that hole.
But we kind of saw something like that with the president now.
Which
he
president?
Wasn't President Bola Tinubu. He wasn't in government for
Did he lock up? Was Bola Tinubu quiet? Was
to
he not out there?
I think he was.
I totally disagree with you. Did he not stay relevant for those 20-something years or those 16 years or thereabout? Yeah, about 16 years. He did not stay relevant. Did he not start a new party? Is he not referred to as the leader of that party? Who amongst these men are leaders of their parties that they started from scratch? Did he not more or less have a say in his parties, who becomes president and other things?
Fair enough.
You can't compare Tinubu's scenario of I left government in 2007. You can't compare it to any of these other names that we have mentioned. In 2007, Alhaji Abubakar Atiku also left the vice presidency. But he had been trying to be president even before then.
You have to rub it in. You should have to.
I'm just stating facts because I'm trying to draw parallels here. So if we take that into cognizance, we now realize that staying relevant is the biggest job that politicians have to do. When was the last time you heard of Uncle Jimmy Agbaje?
He didn't contest the last time, so
exactly. He didn't contest the last time, but when was the last time you heard of him? You think it's a joke that Ifayoshe is always in the news? You think it's a joke that Edino Melaye is always in the news? These guys need to stay relevant one way or the other. They need to constantly put themselves out there. When was the last time Saraki had elective position? The former speaker.
I think 20.
At least it's over 8 years ago.
Yes.
But is he not relevant? Do you not hear his voice? Do you not see him? Does he not put out press statements? Do you get? Politicians, no matter what you say, that is their own office. They need to be out there. Apart from the former vice president, Namadi Sambo's son getting married or daughter getting married recently, did you hear anything about him until that period?
No.
Because he's not interested. Do you get? He's gone inside his house. What do you hear about Goodluck Jonathan? Do you see him jumping and talking about party? He doesn't.
I think last week he had said he officially came out to say he's not contesting. That's
what I'm saying. Before he came out last week to say he's not contesting, the only thing you hear about him is playing the role of an elderly statesman. He's monitoring election in one African country. He's going to settle one peace issue in one place. This president has sent him there. Buhari sent him on assignment. Tinubu is doing this. Do you get what I'm saying? But if Goodluck Jonathan was interested, you would have seen him constantly. And that's why you see Peter Obi constantly criticizing the government. Atiku is doing the same. Amechi is doing. That's what politicians need to do. All of these things to stay relevant. And if they're not relevant, How will they come back and say vote for me? How will they do it? That's why they are doing what they are doing. They all need power. So it's funny how you say someone has not done well in 2 years, but you're telling someone that they need 8 years to do a full job.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay.
You, sir, Uncle Nasir
Very
Erifai, I study in contradiction.
It's very,
you
very
have contradicted yourself, sir. With due respect, and I think that it's well within your rights to criticize. It's well within your right to aspire. It's well within your right to choose to support anybody you want to support. But at times, it's almost as if politicians take everybody for granted. Like, are we dumb? We cannot decipher that this is personal. These things are personal. It's not, I don't think. They say you have is they say that I have. We're all Nigerians, and I don't think you can tell someone that they must use their 8 years, and another person is only using 2 years, and you want him out.
Yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, still talking politics. There was Rivers local government elections over the weekend, and this was heavily monitored because of course, it's Rivers. The one of the issues that the suspended governor had was this local government elections that the court had declared illegal and all that. So interesting that it's now just happening again now. So it really became popular. Yeah, that's what things that made it popular. And interesting results as APC won 20 of 23 seats. PDP won 3 seats of that election. And it says a lot. And now my question is, and because there's still a lot of things that we're still going to unpack from the situation that happened in Rivers over the weekend. But why would we say that it was okay, like with someone like Nyesom Wike, who claims to be trying to rebuild the PDP? Because there are two things that I will see. As much as, yes, PDP lost out most of the seats. And this, I remember this is what the question this was a conversation we still had during the by-elections about 2 weeks ago. At this point in Nigeria, if it is not APC, it's PDP. There's no semblance of Labour Party, there's no semblance of the ADC or SDP or nothing. So even with the PDP now, and we know that Rivers has been a major stronghold, would we say that the fact that the governor is suspended and all that affected what we saw with the results over the weekend?
Okay, so my thinking about this whole PDP APC matter is this. Rotimi Amechi, ADC. Nyesom Wike, PDAPC. That's my opinion. It is PDAPC. Yeah, sorry, PDP. Sorry. Where did PDAPC come from?
I don't know.
I take it back. It's PDP. So, these are the two major gladiators out of Rivers State. There are other top politicians there. But the reason why these names come up is because Rotimi Amechi wants to be president.
Yeah.
Nyesom Wike is a serving minister under Tinubu's government.
Yeah.
And the balance that he has struck with his PDP membership.
Don't be doing that thing.
I shouldn't be making mistakes.
No.
It's a mistake. It's accidental.
It's not accidental.
Accidental discharge. It's accidental discharge. I'm sorry. So, Nyesom Wike has struck some kind of balance. If you understand reverse politics, you understand that the 20 local government that APC won, and PDP won 3. Why didn't the ADC or any other party even show up to the point of getting even a
councillor seat,
a senatorial seat, councillorship seat? You get the by-elections of 2 or 3 weeks ago. They said it was ADC warming up, they're not ready yet, blah blah blah, even if they campaigned. So what happened in Rivers State is showing you where power is tilting. It's showing you where power really lies, beyond all the TV and media chat and talk, because this is brass tacks now. This is government.
This is
at the
happens.
grassroots level.
Yeah, I get your point.
You get, and there's still no guarantees that those people are not in the same party. Rivers politics, just leave it for them.
Interestingly,
they're very sophisticated.
The former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and former Anambra Governor Peter Obi has also now, they both had faulted the elections. Atiku Abubakar calling it that it is what happened in Rivers State is an awful absurdity and a travesty to the very notion of elective democracy. In the same vein, Peter Obi has called the elections unconstitutional assault on democracy.
Wow.
Saying that the rascality was taken too far.
Okay.
I just wanted to put that out there. However, one very interesting thing that I think came out of this elections, also as what I want to talk about, is that there's a 19-year-old candidate that won her councillorship seat in Rivers State. A lot of people have had a lot of things to say and say that, oh, what's the 19-year-old doing and all that as a councillor. And I don't know if I'm wrong, but I think it is a fantastic thing. We talk about wanting young people to be involved in politics. If at 19 you become a councillor, maybe you do that for twice before you aspire to be a chairman of a local government. Add 8 years to this lady's age, that's about 27. She becomes a chairman of a local government at 27. She does that 2 terms. Another 8 years, she's about 36, 35, 36. At that point, you're aspiring to maybe go to the House of Assembly or even House of Reps and all that. I think that's a fantastic trajectory.
But that's an exception to any rule in reality.
No, I'm just saying.
The reason why I said that is I'm not trying to contradict what you said. I'm saying it's an exception because it's an exceptional career for someone who started winning elections at the age of 19 in a country like Nigeria. And saying that it's an exception, I'm not saying it is bad. I'm saying that I wish it was the norm.
Yeah,
that's where I'm going
not
with
that.
That
people,
I wish
that
it was
is
the norm.
Being local councillors.
You know, I don't have a problem with that as long as everybody gets a chance and let the right ones come out. You get, but more young people being exposed early to governance, you know, learning on the job and getting better at what they do. Also bringing the verve and the ideas of the young people into government at that level. You know, it changes a lot of things. It changes a lot of things because that's why at times some people just fail outright when they get into government in their 30s or 40s. They fail. Some of them don't even have any idea what they're doing. Do you understand? So I think I really want to say kudos to the lady, you know, at 19. I hope that she really goes on to have a great career.
Yeah.
And that she actually does succeed, you know.
Okay, now before we leave that matter, one very also interesting part with the local government elections is that the suspended governor was nowhere to be found. He didn't come.
We're counting down. I'm starting a personal countdown for Governor Simlalaya Fubara's return. I think it's 18 days to go or 17
days to go now.
And hopefully when he comes back, he would hit the ground running and get to, you know, use his mandate, the one that the people gave to him. Sadly, you know, he's played some politics that I wish he had played it differently. And by now he would have really strengthened his grip on the state, but it's hard. It's really hard now.
Yeah, and before we leave that matter, the National Secretary of the Coalition of United Political Parties has criticized the governor and saying that he did not think that he will be planning to come back as governor.
Where should he be planning to go?
Your father's house.
Where should he be planning to go? My brother, the man has 2 years more to spend as governor. Hopefully, he will spend it in peace. And if God allows him to come back again, he would do another 4 because it's well within his rights.
Yeah, just and I'm sure, but I can imagine the tension in Rivers State now. There's a lot of people that will be wondering, what's gonna happen. But I really hope that everybody just comes back, find a way. You don't even have to be friends, just find a way to be civil, work together for the good of the community and the state. Now, moving on from that quickly, Murik, that's a Muslim, I think, Association of Nigeria. I would look for what exactly Murik is, but I want to talk about this because it's not something that we hear them talk about a lot. The owner or the founder of Murik has always been a lot of Muslim rights concern. Murik has always been very vocal. However, one of the things that they're not very vocal about is the constant maiming of people that are being alleged to have been blasphemous. But now the man has come out to speak, and he's actually condemning the fact that, so apparently a particular woman named Amaye was lynched, saying that there was a blasphemous statement she made. This was in Mariga local government area of Niger State. So Professor Ishak Akintola has now said that the attack is extrajudicial, barbaric, and un-Islamic, and it asked that police need to take action quickly to make these people an example.
I totally agree with him also, because it's funny how some people think that they can fight God's battle. You can't. That's the truth. And it's funny how people use religion to push agendas. They push different agendas with it. If this lady has blasphemed, attacking her and killing her does not solve
she was
any
actually
problem.
burnt.
Yeah,
it's such a very sad.
And it's almost something that you expect to happen every year or every other year.
When we should, this kind of nonsense should not be happening. Anyway, our thoughts and our prayers are with the people of Afghanistan, as about 800 people are dead, at least 800 after a magnitude 6.0 earthquake struck. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot. That's really sad.
That's just the minimum that they've been able to count. Moving on from that quickly, Super Eagles camp is open. It's official. I think it's official that the international break.
The funny thing about this thing is that the Rwandan camp in Nigeria, the Rwandans are arriving tomorrow. I'm hoping that by that time, Nigeria's camp will be ready, because we have players coming from all over.
Yeah,
and some of them are still still caught up in
because
the
some people still
transfer windows.
Yeah, some people still play. Some people are still caught up in transfer windows. Like you said, the transfer window is closing today. A lot of people are getting brand new players. Like Alexander Isak is official. Is now record fee.
Is a red.
He's moving on from that. A lot of people are moving. I think I saw United has got a brand new goalkeeper. Martinez has signed a new contract with his club. There are quite a number of things moving here and there, all over the place. Also, the Nigerian Uche is also moving to Crystal Palace.
Chrysanthus Uche.
It's also been talked that
he was supposed to go to Wolves. The deal fell through. Then they went to get Tolu Arokodare.
Yeah, all these people are supposed to be in camp as well. Also, thankfully, Stanley Iwambale actually played
and even kept a penalty out.
Yeah, so it's safe to say that his injury scare was okay at the moment. We're good on that angle. Anyway, you people in Nigeria watch a lot of movie. From January to August, it has been official that Nigerian box office had made a revenue of over 10 billion naira.
That industry is thriving.
Oh, yeah, it is.
The funny thing is, you can see it even in the lifestyle now. People are doing well. You can see it,
Yeah, it is.
You can see it. And it's good that that's happening, because we all can't just always base everything on 9 to 5 that has to do white collar jobs or blue collar jobs. This is another industry that, if channeled properly, could become major money spinner for Nigeria.
Okay, there's an award ceremony that is happening in Lagos State, but at the same time, they seem to want to break a record, a Guinness World Record. And this is supposed to be, if I'm correct, the Bond Awards. And they're saying that they want to use that award to also have an 8-kilometer long red carpet.
Yeah, that's the best of Nollywood award. That's what the Bond stands for. And apparently, Seun Oloketu has been very consistent with this award. He's taking it to different parts of Nigeria. This has afforded people to visit states that they've probably never been to or probably never have attended or gone to do anything at or with, you know. So it would be nice if they could pull this off, you know, which means that they need a lot of media houses to join them. So at this point, Yoruba people say Iruwa Ogiriwa, you know, but they would need it to pull that off. And we are also rooting for them to succeed, because it's good when you project Nigeria in a positive light.
Yep. And on that note, that is all we take today on The Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again at 3 p.m. West African time. Do enjoy the rest of Boom Radio. Like, share, follow, subscribe. You know, it's boomradiong.com. We're always live on air 24/7, 365 days a week. No, not 365 days a week. 365 days a year. Sorry. You have a beautiful day.
Can do your own in a week.